Hi there, this is Doctor, and welcome to the TNA Post Show. As always, I'm joined by my co-host. He is the one and only, the star of the show, Maclin.
Thank you for the introduction, as always.
Of course, anytime. So this week's TNA Impact was the go-home show to Turning Point because next week is a special Thanksgiving episode, which there's not going to be an episode. It's going to be like a recap show, I think, but with never before seen.
Sorry. They're showing a bunch of unseen matches from the vault. Like I think they said, excuse me, Mike Bailey versus
Mike Bailey versus Jake something, Jordan Grace versus Danny Luna, Nic Nemeth versus Sami Callihan, and a casket match between PCO and Moose. That should be interesting.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know, I don't know why they were never seen before, but that is still pretty cool. Instead of a best of, they are giving you some new content.
Oh, for sure. Now, we will be doing a show next week, just to let everybody know. We'll remind everybody again at the end, but we're not talking about Exclusion because you guys know I hate the one-match format. So we're just going to kick off talking about the show. So tonight's Impact actually we had some knockouts action tonight. It was a no DQ, a knockouts title match, Alisha Edwards versus Masha Slamovich. Now, let me say, just to say this. I think everyone knew that Lish was not going to win this, but I have to say she gave a really good performance here. She played her role really well, and I really appreciate that. Like, you know what? I would not mind if Lish becomes Knockouts champion, even if she has a very short title reign. Like, this was a great performance by Alisha Edwards.
Definitely, I'm glad. I have no problem with her, especially what they've done with her up until now, compared to when she got her first world title shot. Just everything that's happened in between, and how established she is now. But I hope, just because we saw some interference at the end from Tasha, that we go back to her and Tasha being, well, we start now with them being a full-fledged tag team, because it would be nice to have more than 2 knockouts tag teams.
Yeah, hopefully they do become a tag team and join the Knockouts tag team division. Jordan Grace came out and she helped chase Tasha Steelz away, and she handed Masha her belt. So obviously, it's going to be Masha versus Jordan at Turning Point. We'll get more into that when we get to that segment. After this, we get the Rascalz segment, and basically they're just talking about their match, and they said that, they were talking about how when they were kids, they remember getting Hardy figures, and at Turning Point, smoke them if you got them.
This segment was just very funny, just because Kushida with them. It was just, it almost like felt like he was out of place there, but he wasn't. This was a very funny segment.
It was. I agree. I like the Rascalz, so it's good to see them again. Next, we get another knockouts match. It is Ash by Elegance versus Jodi. This was a decent match. Ash by Elegance getting the win, so now she has 2 victories over Spitfire. I have to say, Matthew Radwell and Tom Hannifin really knocked it out of the park during this match, because there is that one spot where I think Ash pulled, was it Ash or Heather, pulled Threat by the hair, and then Tom said, "I know you're bald, Radwell, so you wouldn't understand."
I did not catch that. There's another one later in the night, another comment Hannifin made that got me, but that's so funny. And yeah, this match, while it's very weird that, I actually like that, I kind of like that Ash has beaten both the Knockouts tag team champs, both members of Spitfire. I really like the team of Ash and Heather, just especially too, just because this feels like a natural role for Ash at this point, compared to her being thrusted to carry the main event scene along with Jordan. So this is good.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like this is a direction she should have gone in when she first came to TNA, but like at that time, Jordan just didn't have any contenders. So I understand why they pushed her out, but this was great. I cannot wait to see, as we like to call them, Reckless Elegance, win those knockouts tag titles.
I think they do. just because I think they need to give Ash something. And I don't think at this point, I don't think Spitfire, especially since there's only one other team, I don't think Spitfire need the titles at this point. So it'll be more if they win them again down the road, if they continue to team. So yeah, I'm hoping Reckless Elegance do win the titles at some point.
Next, we get a Mike Santana a segment promo, and he's basically talking about, you know, his childhood and about things like that. And he's interrupted by Frankie Kazarian. I really like how Frankie Kazarian's like, "Oh, I don't have a match at Turning Point because I got the night off." And then on commentary, they're like, "Yeah." Naturally, I was like, "Yeah, he got a 6-week notice. He showed it to me. That was hilarious." But we're gonna get Mike Santana versus Frankie Kazarian at Turning Point.
Frankie Kazarian walking around with the trophy just really just kind of brings me back to Owen Hart carrying around his Slammies. Just heels carrying around their trophies will never not be funny. And then obviously we got a impromptu match with Kazarian and Rhino, which was very fun.
Yeah, but Frankie Kazarian, you know, with his foot on the rope, he pinned Rhino. So once again, he beat Rhino.
Yeah, Kazarian just continues to just become a better heel each and every week. And again, I'm hope it ends with him finally getting that world title that's eluded him in his TNA career. But yeah, and then Rhino did get his revenge back and Frankie Kazarian sold the shit out of this gore. Like he what a flop. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, he did. He sold that gore like a pro. Okay. So next we get a Steve Maclin Vignette, and this was really well done. I actually really liked it. Steve Maclin tweeting out, "Putting this together was a dream come true to realistically show the mental state of millions of combat veterans and the struggles we face on a daily basis. It has always been a very important piece of my work as a professional wrestler. I hope you enjoy a look into my mind." And yeah, I did. I thought this was really well done. You know, TNA needs to do more stuff like this. They've been doing it a little by little, but I really enjoyed this. I thought this was great.
This is one of their most well-produced segments that I've seen in a long time. This had me glued to my chair the whole time.
Same.
See, Maclin really showing his, I think, to me, if this doesn't say that they're going all in with him as a babyface, I don't know what will. You know what I mean? I feel like he can be a top babyface as well.
Got me more excited for Steve's no DQ match next Friday. Yeah, exactly. Really excited for the no DQ match. Now, I question if Eric Young's role in this unit is going to lead to Eric Young turning on Steve Maclin, because he kept repeating Steve Maclin, does he know who he is? And he says no one knows no one does, you know. So I get the feeling maybe Eric Young, you know, will join the TNA Armory, betray Steve Maclin here, because Steve Maclin turning on Eric Young, that would be too predictable. But Eric Young turning on Steve Maclin, I think, would make much more sense. You know, you turn Steve Maclin to this all uber baby face here.
Yeah, while Eric Young joining does make sense. Now I kind of don't want him to after this. And then also just because just randomly I saw over the weekend, I think it was at Prestige, Alan Angels did team again with Sinner and Saint. And I just think it'd be cool, even though he's not Canadian, if Alan Angels would join the Northern Armory. I just think that would be, you know, very cool. I don't know. I just think it gives something for Alan Angels to do again. I know that's random, but yeah, no, I don't want Eric Young to join. After this, I don't know. I just feel like Eric Young and Steve Maclin are so similar. And I think they would make a very good babyface tag team. But at the same time, I think it, like you said, if he did turn on him, that would only fuel him more. in the story. So I'm kind of leaning towards what you're saying. I think Eric Young's going to turn on him.
Oh, thanks. Because I could see Eric turning on Steve. It came out earlier this week on social as of January 11th. Josh is done with indie dates. Take that for what it is, but it started Josh going to surgery rumors. I don't think it necessarily means he's going to surgery. I don't know what Josh's contract status is, but it could just mean that Josh has reached a point in his career where he doesn't want it, where he no longer has to do indie dates. So again, take it for what it is, but we'll have to just wait and see until contract news comes out.
And you know what? I think for the first time in a long time, TNA's in the best position, and if they do lose somebody, even if as the caliber of Josh, they will be fine.
Yeah, they will. They'll be okay.
There's a lot of people like we talk about every week. There's a lot of people ready to be put in that main event scene. So
yeah,
and people ready to get more TV time. So you know what I mean. So TNA will be fine.
I'll use the knockouts as an example. TNA lost Deonna Purrazzo. They were fine. They had Jordynne Grace. They're losing Jordynne Grace. They're fine. They have Masha Slamovich. Kylie King is probably going to come back soon. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they got Heather Rascalz, who already seems like an A+ signing, and then they signed Xylee. She doesn't go by Xylee.
Lee.
Yeah, I'm blank. Yeah, I was blanking on her name. So already just like you said, TNA will be fine.
Yes. So next we get Leon Slater and Laredo Kid versus Moose and JDC. My back keeps hurting every time they mention Leon Slater's just 20 years old. And he's trying to break the record for youngest X Division champion, which was set over 21 years ago by Amazing Red. So we'll see. I think he can do it. I mean, this match showed that I want a singles match between Moose and Leon Slater.
This was the match of the night for me. Also, this match had the commentary line of the night for me. At one point, they were talking about, Ray Walt brought up, like how the system revitalized JDC's career. They even bought him this ring. And then Hannah fans like, oh, you mean that cubic zirconia? And he's like, where do you, and it just, Hannah fan talks so much shit about, and this is so disgusted by the heels. It's so good. The rapport that him and Ray Walt have with each other is so good. The chemistry. And but like I said, this was the match of the night. Slater's so good, and I think him and Laredo Kid worked really well with each other. And I like how it was a quick win. It was like a quick pin, and then they immediately got their heat back. So while I don't normally like that a lot, I thought it was very fitting because, like you said, I think we're leading towards Leon Slater versus Moose at some point.
Yeah, it's Leon Slater did pin JDC of the system, so obviously they weren't going to have him pin Moose yet, but I definitely do see Moose versus Leon Slater in the future.
I do think that they're gonna. I don't have it in front of me. I haven't looked it up, but I do think that they're gonna have it be very close to him, like barely beating Amazing Reds. You know what I mean? I think that he's, like you said, I think he does have a little bit more. You know what I mean? At least a year.
Yeah, he has until September of next year to break the record.
Okay, so yeah, obviously, I would like to see him do it at one of the big TNA pay-per-views, just because I think a moment like that deserves, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. All right. And then we forgot to mention at the end, the Laredo Kid came in swinging with the steel chair.
He did. He got a couple good shots in.
Oh yeah, he did. All right, so
and I think we believe we found the Laredo Kid is getting a match at Turning Point.
Yeah, against Moose.
So well done, TNA, that was an easy match to set up. So that should be very good because I like already the idea of the clash of styles, just as Moose being more of a heavyweight, but being the X Division, and we know the X Division is no limit. So
yeah, even though Mustafa Ali tried to put limits on it,
he did.
All right. So next we get a Joe Hendry promo, and he's talking about the Turkey Bowl, which he has a chance to beat 5 other guys, and will make him one step closer to becoming world champion. Now, if he loses, he has to wear the turkey suit. I don't think he's going to lose here. But he says he's got a lot to be thankful for, and that I really like how he ended this promo by saying that if you have a dream and a goal, you go all the way, you chase that dream, and you don't stop because anything is possible when you believe. I really like that. That was really inspirational, really motivational. And he's right. If you have a dream, you have a goal, go after it, chase after it, and don't stop until you get there.
I hope he gets there. You know, I'm somewhat believe right now. I'm not as big of a believer as you. I did like this, and I like the idea of him having to work his way back. I like that. And yeah, there's no way. This match is basically the Jason Hodge Invitational. We know he's wearing the turkey suit.
John Schuyler.
Yeah, John Schuyler. We know John Schuyler's wearing the turkey suit. No, there's no way that Joe Hendry's already get a loss. So, because I do see him working his way back and getting another world title shot.
Oh, same here. All right, this is followed up by a Nic Nemeth promo, and he's basically talking about how he still believes in Joe Hendry, but right now the only thing he cares about is Turning Point, and he says that all Eddie Edwards cares about is power, and he'll never take the power from him, and he'll do what he does best, that's still the show and stay world champion. This is a typical Nic Nemeth promo, nothing special about it. Now, what were your thoughts on this?
You saying that he brought up Eddie Edwards reminds me again of another line that Hannafin had during the previous match, where he's like, he was like talking about how these systems, like, they keep celebrating. There's Eddie Edwards celebrating getting a world title match, Alisha celebrating getting a world title match, and then like Ray Roll's like, they got a lot to celebrate. Like Hannafin just kept trying to ruin the systems, step all over their parade. But yeah, no, this was a good Nemeth promo. He continues to be, again, you know what you're gonna get with Nemeth. So I did like this. I at this point I'm kind of wondering who is going to be the one to take the title off him. I don't think it's going to be Eddie, but yeah, this is very interesting. I did like this promo.
I don't think it's going to be Eddie Edwards either. I don't think it's going to be any member of the system for that matter.
No, I don't.
All right. Next we get Savannah Evans versus Brittany Jade. Now they're trying to rebuild Savannah Evans. I think they're doing a good job. This was basically an enhancement match. I can't complain too much about it. Obviously, Savannah Evans won, but she is already an established talent, so she shouldn't be doing squash matches for too long.
I think you're being too kind. We do like to say the term enhancement match. This was a squash match, and it was supposed to be one. Like, they even alluded to how she could have finished it at any point. So yeah, this wasn't supposed to be an enhancement match. So, but yeah, I hopefully this was a one and done, because she doesn't need a lot of these, since the crowd and the audience know who she is at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm interested to see what they do with her.
Same here. I'm very curious to see if she's gonna have a feud with Li Ying Li.
Because they do definitely need to build up that next monster heel in the Knockouts division.
I agree. All right, so next we get a Masha Slamovich segment, and we find out that not only is it going to be her versus Jordan Grace, it's going to be a 2 out of 3 falls match. Honestly, I feel like this should main event Turning Point.
I honestly think it will. The only reason I don't see it is for the reason that isn't Turning Point taking place kind of in like the Hardys home area.
Yeah,
So I could
Winston,
see
North
that main event.
Carolina.
Yeah, I could see that main eventing, but this should main event, no doubt.
Yeah, this is going to be an epic match, the 2 out of 3 falls match. I think it's, oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, this should be good.
Let's see. Nic Nemeth is already champion, but he ain't knocking it out of the park either. I think most of us know who Li Ying Li is. Glad she's getting reps, but I ain't a fan of her being in enhancement matches. For Li Ying Li, I don't mind because like they're trying to rebuild her, which is something that TNA does with everybody who comes in. I mean, look what they did with Steve Maclin. Look what they did with W. Morrissey. Just to name a few. I don't think she should be in enhancement matches for long. I definitely do think that it seems like they're setting something up with her and Savannah Evans here. So we just got to wait and see.
Yeah.
So the main event ends up being a 6-man tag match. Jake something Hammerstone and Trent Seven versus Ace Austin and the Hardys. The Hardys getting a massive reception in their home state of North Carolina. This was a fun match. Well, at least I thought so. But I have to say, a lot of miscommunication between Hammerstone and Jake something here. Like, I don't know what was going on, but they kept bumping into each other. I did like the triple twist of fates. I thought that was a really cool spot. And I was really surprised that Jake something, Hammerstone, and Trent Seven won this match. I was thinking, oh, Hardys and Ace Austin are going to win. But I feel like it makes sense. You want to establish them as heels. How do you establish them as heels? You beat the Hardys in their home state.
Yeah, because you gotta make at least one, and you gotta have one of the teams that's going to be involved in that match look really credible. You know what I mean? And while I think the Hardys are going to win this upcoming Friday, next Friday, I do think that this was the right move to have them lose tonight.
Yeah, I thought so too, because you're not going to have them win here and then win again at turn. I mean, you could have, and I was actually expecting that, but no, I was really surprised that the heels won, and I'm really glad that they did.
Definitely.
I think Hammerstone and Jake something are going to come for those tag titles.
Yeah, because now that I don't know why I thought that it was going to be a 4-way tag match for the titles, but no, yeah, it's a triple. I mean, it's a 6-way match with the Hardys and Ace Austin versus the Rascalz and Kushida at Turning Point. So, but yeah, no, I'm glad that Hammerstone and they were able. The heel team was able to get the win, especially with Hammerstone and something being on there, because I definitely think they would benefit the most to beat the Hardys down the line. You know what I mean? To take titles off the Hardys. The Hardys need to put somebody over on their way out, their potential way out. So, and I think what a better team than Hammer something.
Hey, Joe.
What's up, Joe?
I agree. Like the Hammer something should be the ones to take the tag titles. I mean, it's believable, and like I said, on their way out there, I think they're gonna put them over.
Yeah, I can't think of any other team at this moment that I could think of that should win more than them, but you never know.
Well, these good hands, even if it's a short title, right? No, just kidding. I don't think they. I mean, like I like the good hands. I think they're really underrated as a tag team. I would like to see them win the tag titles, but I think Hammer something will probably win the tag titles first before the good hands win those.
You can make an argument for First Class, but I think Hammer something definitely.
First Class, I feel like I don't know what's going on with First Class. I just feel like they haven't had much momentum. They gotta start racking up some wins here.
Now, they could, between now and then, if they were to build up Sinner and Saint, who are now in the Northern Armory, if they were to build them up to a credible team, what a way to kick off their TNA career and maybe establish the Northern Armory as that next top faction by having them win the titles. But right now, it has to be something in Hammerstone.
Yep, I agree. All right, well, that's it. I thought this was a really good go-home show for Turning Point. And like I said, next week, Thursday, is a Thanksgiving episode with never-before-seen matches. So that's done with the review. Now, Bert and I are going to do our Turning Point predictions.
All right, let's start off first with Mike Santana versus Frankie Kazarian. I think this one's very easy, just because as long as Frankie Kazarian has that cup, he's got a title shot guaranteed, and they're trying to build up to Santana's title shot that he does not have. So Santana's winning.
I agree with you. Santana's taking it. There's no way. I mean, not saying that Frankie can't beat Santana. I'm just saying, like you said, Frankie Kazarian, no matter what, already has that guarantee win. You gotta build up Santana. So Santana's taking it.
Yeah. Then we have the no DQ match between Steve Maclin and Josh Alexander. You can take this one first.
I gotta pick Steve Maclin here. You know, this has to be Steve Maclin's match. It's no DQ.
You would think after that promo that Steve Maclin would win, but I think I just have a feeling just now that you've said it, I think Eric Young. I think Steve Maclin loses. Eric Young turns on him, and Josh wins.
Okay.
Because I just think that needs to be. I don't see a lot of big moments on the show, or potential for big moments. You know, there's going to be obviously the comedy of the turkey suit match, but I think this is a match where something big could happen.
Okay.
Next, we have the 6-man tag, the Hardys and Ace Austin versus the Rascalz and Kushida. Another easy one. I think the Hardys win. They're not going to lose in their home. This is in WWE. The Hardys win.
Lose again in their home state. This was cinema. Oh yeah, I agree. It was.
Yes.
I got to go with the Hardys as well too.
Same. I was completely right. Cinema, like you're definitely drawn in. It's definitely going to be a video people go back to on TNA's YouTube and watch again.
Glad Steve's joined us inside of this pass. Yeah, me too.
Okay. Next we have in his first title defense, TNA X Division champion Moose against Laredo Kid.
Moose, sorry, Laredo Kid.
Yeah, but I do think, as always, and I don't think it's going to change just because Moose is the X Division champion and it's a different style. I think this will definitely be match of the night contender.
Oh, I agree. Joseph says, yeah, Hardy won't lose in their home state. They've enjoyed a great month of being home. I don't think EY needs to be in another group, but I wouldn't be surprised if EY and Maclin aren't getting along anymore. Yeah, same here.
Okay. Next we have the Turkey Bowl match for PCO, John Schuyler, Joe Hendry, Eric Young, Brian Myers, and Hammerstone. I'm sorry, John Schuyler. I don't. No one else in this match. Like, I guess like PCO, but he's additionally a champ. There's no one in this match that should be wearing the turkey suit by him at this point. They can't afford it.
I have to agree. I think John Schuyler is wearing this turkey suit. And you know something? I forget that PCO is a digital media champion. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, I definitely think we're getting to that point where he needs to drop it, just because I think that title is, as you always talk about, should be one of the titles, just because it's basically the streaming version, whatever you want to call it, like a TV championship. It should be defended more. But yeah. But Schuyler's, because I think Brian Myers has worn it before, but if he hasn't, it shouldn't be this year. So, yeah, Schuyler's wearing the turkey suit.
It says, I'm surprised this ain't for the Digital Media title. It says Joe Henry gets W. Jason Hutch, Yumi, and John Skyler. Steve Maclin beats Josh Alexander. You know, I'm curious to see when another knockout's gonna hold the Digital Media title. Jordan Grace to this day is the only knockout to hold the Digital Media title. So I'm very curious when that's gonna happen.
I definitely could see somebody like a Kylan King or a Savannah Evans or even a Masha holding it. But yeah, that'd be interesting. Okay, next we have the world title, the TNA World Championship match. Nic Nemeth versus Eddie Edwards.
Nic Nemeth.
Yeah, and I think just be given the atmosphere, I'm predicting a JBL interference just because it is like at a it's like at a convention, you know what I mean? So I'm assuming he'll be there anyway. So yeah, Nemeth. Okay,
That's
so last
it? Oh.
What? No, we have we have the knockouts title match, which you're right, it's gonna main event. 2 out of 3 falls. Masha in her first title or second title defense versus Jordan. I think this is typical, as it go. I would think that Masha gets the first fall, Jordan the second one, and then that dramatic looking for that third fall. And I definitely think Masha wins. I don't predict Jordan to win the title again, especially this quick. And I don't think she wins it again, especially. I do think she's not long for TNA at this point. I think she's going to get paid. But no, Masha wins.
Will John Mayfield show up again? I think so. I think John Mayfield. I agree with Bert on that one.
Yeah, he'll be I'm assuming he'll ask for his booth to be right next to where TNA is, just so it's a quick walk. And then, he goes in there, does his thing, hits a couple people, and then he's out. I really do hope, though, because I think we talked about this last time. We need to get to a point where they do something with this angle. Like, I don't want this to just end where it's like, oh, no, JBL's just out for himself. They need to do something where it's JBL and Nick. Nic Nemeth needs to turn heel. And it would be nice. And I think JBL, I think they need to get JBL at least once on TNA.
Yeah, I thought this was lean to Nic Nemeth heel turn. We'll see.
Yeah, I just think he has to, just because I think that I don't see what heel is going to beat on the roster they're going to have beaten for the titles, but I see a lot of baby faces that should be champion.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Joseph says we are at 7 matches. I would expect 1 or 2 more to be added, maybe for pre-show. Nope, pre-show is 6:30, 4:30. 6:30, 3:30 p.m. The show itself is a special start time at 7 p.m., 4 p.m. Pacific. For those of you on the West Coast,
I could see maybe, especially the way that the knockouts match ended, maybe a Heather Elegance match versus Danny Luna, just because they were the ones on the outside. I could definitely see that match be out of the pre-show. And maybe the Savannah Evans match. But other than that, I don't know what else they could add.
Amen, Bert. What's the point of John bailing out Nick? Frankie has your card to show when he would cash in, but he's staying with Santana. I could see Spitfire defending the TNA Knockouts Tag Championship versus Rascalz Elegance. Okay, I could see that too. Might be, but I feel like that might happen at Final Resolution more than anything. That Knockouts Tag Team title match.
Yeah, I could even see them holding it out for Genesis. You know what I mean? Because it's not even, they haven't even been building it up or even been a team that long. So, yeah. But yeah, I would like to see another match, maybe at least 2 matches added to the pre-show. So I could see at least a knockouts match and then something else.
Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna get some pre-show matches here, but we could we would have what knockout match? I think we're gonna get another one.
Hell, even if you were to do a singles match of Leon Slater versus JDC, that would make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just given the way that match ended.
Oh, I definitely agree. I'm surprised Moose still allows JDC in the system after that.
No, well, that was a typical. You know what I mean? It was like a fluke win. That's the way the heels will. You know what I mean? We'll defend it.
Yeah.
You know, it made me laugh the way they immediately didn't even give them time to celebrate. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Brett, as we get ready to sign off, where can people find you?
Just on X. On Twitter at BurMaclin11.
You can follow me on Twitter at @TSL_. I talk Raw, SmackDown, AEW, TNA. I go live on my YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, occasional Saturdays and Sundays. And of course, for all things TNA, you can catch me here every Thursday alongside Bert. Next week, because it is Thanksgiving, we won't be doing a show. I know there's some never before seen matches they're gonna air. So we still won't be doing a show in spite of that, but hey, feel free to watch the show. I might still watch next week.
I'm definitely gonna watch just because it'll be towards the end of the night and I haven't seen those matches, and good for them for giving out some new content instead of a best of show. So
yeah, same. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever we go live or whenever Body Slam goes live. And we will see you guys next week on Friday after Turning Point. Bye.